Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be Cruella de Vil, and now I am.
Like, now we live in a country where a man could say, now I'm a woman. Now I'm a woman. And we will call you by your name as a woman. But that doesn't mean that a doctor ain't gonna call you until you need a prostate examination.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. These are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. Earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender.
Katt Williams and D.L. Hughley have both come out swinging at Magic Johnson's son EJ, and their core argument is that this is precisely what happens when mental health struggles are continuously enabled rather than properly addressed. If you have not been following the story, EJ Johnson is once again at the center of online ridicule, this time after being photographed in Paris wearing a women's leather dress and what appeared to be an extremely large pair of heels. And this moment comes just weeks after EJ stirred up significant backlash by publicly claiming that he looks better than any woman and that he exclusively attracts straight men. But here is the part that has people genuinely scratching their heads. If a man finds himself attracted to EJ Johnson, by what logic is that man considered straight? The reasoning simply does not hold up, no matter how you look at it. And this is where the conversation takes an even more complicated turn. According to EJ's own public statements, he has moved away from he and him pronouns entirely and now prefers they and them or she and her. And reportedly,
on my birthday, in June, that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. And it was very freeing, even son. I was like, you know, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son, and I was like, well, he's dead. And now there is Miss Thing. We're not doing.
So EJ dates men, but does not identify as gay. And at the same time, he actively rejects being labeled a woman or a transgender woman. Many media outlets have attempted to describe EJ as non-binary or gender fluid, but he rejects those labels as well. And to each their own, that part is fine. But when EJ starts making public statements, like claiming he looks better than any woman alive, and insisting that straight men are the ones pursuing him, there is a label that fits that behavior pretty accurately, and it has nothing to do with gender identity. It is called attention-seeking. And now D.L. Hughley has entered the conversation with a very direct take, saying that regardless of whatever labels a person chooses,
where a man could say, now I'm a woman. Now I'm a woman. And we will call you by your name as a woman. But that doesn't mean that a doctor ain't gonna call you until you need a prostate examination. You can wear a sundress when you go. Yeah. You're still getting the same thing I'm getting. So happy anniversary, I guess. You can say you're a thing and you're that. Yeah. And you have to, for now, I'm a white.
Katt Williams sees this situation from an entirely different perspective, and to him, there's nothing remotely amusing about it. In fact, Katt believes the entire agenda playing out in Hollywood traces back to something far older and far darker than most people are willing to consider. During his now famous appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, Katt made a series of striking claims, ones that connected Hollywood success, transgender identity, and the occult symbol known as Baphomet. According to Katt, certain rituals tied to this figure required followers to kiss Baphomet's ring as an act of loyalty and submission to those in power. And based on what he says he witnessed and understood back then, Katt claims he could already see where things were headed. He says he knew, long before it became a mainstream conversation, that transgender topics were going to dominate the cultural landscape. In his view, kissing the ring, that act of bowing to power, of falling in line with those who control the industry, was
going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future.
And Katt's core argument is that Hollywood orchestrates these rituals deliberately, not for entertainment, not for art, but to humiliate and control the people inside the industry. According to Katt, nothing about it is accidental. Men wearing dresses, kissing the ring, Baphomet symbolism, all of it, he says, is engineered with a specific purpose: to break you down. The logic, in his view, works like this. The moment a celebrity agrees to do something that humiliates them, something that cuts against their ego, their image, their identity, they've essentially handed over their power. They've proven they'll comply. And once the industry knows that, it owns them. You do what you're told, you stay quiet, you keep climbing. And if you ever think about speaking out, they already have enough on you to end everything. Katt believes the transgender wave washing over celebrity culture is a direct extension of that same system. And he points to something that's hard to ignore. It's not just E.J. Johnson. Seemingly every other major celebrity these days has a child who has come out as transgender or non-binary. Studies suggest that trans and non-binary identities represent somewhere between 1% and 2% of the general population. But among the children of Hollywood's elite, the numbers tell a very different story. And if you follow Katt's framework, that raises an uncomfortable question. If these rituals are designed to break down and control celebrities, why would that influence stop at the parents? Celebrity children grow up inside that world, backstage, on sets, in industry mansions surrounded by powerful people. If the parents are already under control, the children become leverage. They become assets. For certain celebrities, having a child who publicly defies traditional gender norms would be deeply personal, especially for alpha athletes or those with deeply rooted traditional values. And yet, they smile through the interviews. They post the supportive Instagram stories. They accept the praise. Why? Because they've already learned the most important rule of the game. Do what you're told, and you keep winning. And many people believe magic...
now.
My child's 23.
Okay.
24 now.
Okay.
And this was happening when they were 22, 23. And for me, like...
That's the let go time. That's like you're your own person now.
Yeah. But
And-
you're trying to hold on, right? And you want this thing that's in your head, normalcy, and you're thinking about your grandchildren,
Yeah.
and you're all kinds of shit. And it's like, yo, it's not on me to think about none of that.